What's up?
Yeah.
Oh, where'd he go? Thank you, guys. And I just want to say it's an absolute pleasure to win the Golden Globe for Best Wrestler of the Year. So I'm going to take this with stride and pride as I am the single greatest 24/7, 7-Eleven, I-95, Kentucky European television champion of all time. What's up?
What's up? Yeah.
Yeah? Very
All
well
right.
deserving.
All right. So, Brainless One, what do we got for our first Marky Award category?
Well, I think that we should start off with a bang for the curtain jerker.
That's what she said.
I say we go with the best match of 2023.
Okay.
Get right into it.
Now, mind you, I also have Nicole's picks for her Marky Awards.
Yeah.
So I have both of those. So
Right.
I'm excited. I was actually, honest to goodness, this is the most prepared I've ever been for the Marky Awards. I had all of my winners last week.
Wow.
Nice.
I mean, I've had to change a couple things because you
God.
know how I am.
You turned 40 and then you're just gonna become more responsible.
I wouldn't go that far. I vardered myself, today. I changed at least 3 or 4 categories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
But for match of the year, what match was it for you, Cousin Jay?
This was one of the categories where I had, I'd say, a handful of matches that I was really keying on. And I would say, for me, prominence on an important show was something that mattered.
Subscribe.
And just the ones that were really kind of, I would say, in I would say the top 3. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte at WrestleMania.
Yep.
The triple threat match for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania was another one. And there were a couple other ones that were just outstanding matches that were on a bit lesser shows that I was like, in the end, if you're talking about, again, the art of professional wrestling and telling a story and really going in there and doing a thing, I have to go with Bryan Danielson versus MJF in the Iron Man match.
Okay.
It was one of those matches that for MJF, it was him going into the Lion's Den. Hey, he's not going to be able to beat Bryan Danielson in an Iron Man match. Bryan Danielson is a machine that could go forever. He lasted, what was it, an hour and 19 minutes in the greatest Royal Rumble of forever and all time that Mansoor probably should have won, and what have you. But he went into MJF went into the deep waters, and he and Danielson had a classic match that was, unlike the Brett and Shawn Iron Man 1-hour match, where at times it was slow and it really didn't pick up until the last 15 minutes, where this match specifically kept it going the entire time. They kept it interesting the entire time, and I remember going into the pay-per-view where I'm going, I don't think there's a way they're going to take the title off MJF at this point. And I thought they were going to do some sort of chicanery, but no, they had MJF win this thing flat out and just told a hell of a story for 60 damn minutes plus.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give my match of the year to MJF and Bryan Danielson, congratulations to you. I think that really helps solidify MJF as a top dude.
I mean, you think of Bryan Danielson, one of the best wrestlers ever. Might be the best wrestler ever when it comes to in-ring work, when it's all said and done. I put him in my top 3 for sure. But that means he can get a match on anybody. And MJF, to his credit, has become the face of that company, and that match solidified that. It absolutely solidified him being the number 1 guy in AEW. AEW is his, as long as he wants it at this point. And all he has to do is just do what he's doing. Now, there are times, we were getting a little tired of Max, with his little chicanery and all his little bullshit, but that kind of ended that. So I think that helped him in the long run. Mm-hmm. And hopefully, as long as a certain person gets out of his own way, the booker of the company is who I'm talking about.
Booker man!
Not that one. But as long as that person starts to see the light on what he needs to do, I think Max could be an all-time great just being in AEW. He doesn't have to go to WWE at this point.
He could be the Sting of AEW.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he could be a modern-day Sting. Absolutely.
I think that he has a lot more potential in WWE because I think he's better suited for WWE.
Sure.
That's my opinion. I just think that if under their tutelage and everything like that, because he's good. And like I said earlier, when I did the early awards, where I said he was the worst face in all of wrestling, and I meant that. I have not enjoyed him as a face at all. Some people have it, and some people just don't. Mm-hmm. Randy Orton is a much better heel than he is a face.
Absolutely.
Same thing with
The same thing
with The Miz. The same thing with Edge. Rey Mysterio is definitely a better face than he's a heel. I think John Cena. I know we only got like a small sampling of it over the years. Many years ago with Cena, but I still think Cena was definitely a better. Cena was a better face than a heel, and there's certain people that just have it. And with MJF, I think he's much better as a heel. Let's be serious for 2 seconds.
But that's what we've also been used to him as. He's never really had a chance to be a face because he's just been this asshole dick on social media, on the microphone. Like we weren't used to, we're just not used to him being that way. I mean, I want to give him a little more time before we make that judgment. It's not like Edge, who we know after years and years and years of his career is a better heel than a face. We know Rey Mysterio is a better face than a heel. So I think we got to give Max some time to kind of find his place as a face, and before we cast that judgment on him.
I think that's why he's better suited for WWE, because I think they'll have him better prepared for when he does become a face, because I think it's a lot easier for him to do it when he's got the proper training. And look at how good he is, considering the fact that AEW doesn't have a training facility. Mm-hmm. He's one of the top 3 or 5 guys in the company. There's a reason why he's the main pillar. And the other 3 are just kind of damaged or.
The other 3 are pillars of salt.
I mean, I like Darby Allin. I do. I just think he's got the common sense of a bedpost.
He's fine, but I mean, it's possible that, maybe he ends up getting lost on top of Mount Everest and we never find him again. He plants the AEW flag up there and then ends up getting buried in an avalanche caused by John Tenta and
Rip.
Yeah. Yes, but the avalanche was a King Kong Bundy move.
It was. Rip.
The GOAT. Fn Marks Hall of Famer King Kong Bundy. But, so does that mean you're going to go with Bryan Danielson and MJF too, El Jefe?
No, actually, no. My match of the year was a triple threat Intercontinental title match at WrestleMania. I thought that was fucking awesome. 3 big fucking meaty dudes beating the shit out of each other. That fucking ruled. That was what professional wrestling used to be. That reminded me of the shit I watched growing up. That was awesome. Gunther, Sheamus, Drew McIntyre. Especially, Sheamus was the big surprise of that match, considering we know he's kind of on borrowed time right now.
Right.
But But it solidified Gunther as a superstar in the making.
Superstar.
He will be a world champion in WWE. I have no doubt about that. In fact, I actually interviewed him. I think it was a few months ago. Great guy. Very literal. So he's Austrian,
Literal.
so you kind of had to figure that out. But he's I feel like that solidified him, and we discussed that aspect of his career and what's next for him and all that stuff. So it was a really cool interview. It was actually on my YouTube channel. Just search it. You'll be able to find it.
What is your handle on YouTube?
Oh God, it's probably real
Jeff Schneider.
It's probably real Jeff Snyder. I would think so. I'll have to check it.
It is.
No, I might just link it on the.
Okay. Yeah.
It is Flacco.
Comments.
His handle is Flacco for MVP 2023.
Yes, he's elite.
Flacco on being the elite is
he'd be the most elite person on the show by default because the other ones really aren't.
Right.
Not elite. In the playoffs.
I'm going with El Jefe. The Intercontinental Triple Threat match from WrestleMania was mine, and obviously I was going to go with that. As much as I wanted to pick something else, because as much as I like Drew McIntyre, he didn't need to be a part of that. In fact, I'm ready to blame Drew McIntyre for the fact that Sheamus is still not a Grand Slam champion like he should have been. But at the end of the day, it was big, meaty guys slapping the shit out of each other, and I am a big fan of big, meaty men slapping the shit out of each other. And the brainless wife, Fn Marks Hall of Famer, Nicole, went with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Usos at WrestleMania for the tag team match for the titles. She said between the match itself and the build-up with everything with Sami Zayn and the bloodline really led up to a great match, so that's why she went with that.
Fn Marks Hall of Famer Tim also chiming in saying he agrees with Brainless One and Fn Marks Hall of Famer El Jefe with the triple threat match at WrestleMania for the IC title.